Hello, and welcome to Pedantic Handwavium. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Simon. So, Jeff, we're mixing it up this week because Simon is not on point at all because he just got out of class.
I think I missed our tagline. You can do that if you want.
Yeah, what's our tagline? Oh, the podcast that tries to explain fictional worlds using science. And then I almost...
So what is this week's fictional world?
Well, this week's fictional world is the fictional world of medical conspiracy theories. Or pseudoscience is really what I kind of labeled it as.
Okay, yeah, that should be easy.
Yeah.
Hard sci-fi was easy enough.
Yeah.
We can do what people actually believe in.
So we have to... So I was debating on how to do this, and you can weigh in if you want. I mean, because you also are doing this episode with me.
Right.
I like the idea of trying to explain a world in which these things are true. Like, what would it take for these things to actually be true? But I also feel like, as a public service announcement, we should mention, like, the actual ramifications of if these were true in the real world, what they would mean.
Right. Yeah, that seems fair. Just, like, occasionally sprinkle in that none of this is actually real, so we don't get like a War of the Worlds situation going. Yes.
Okay, we should say that up front. This is not real. Do not take what we are saying here as medical advice, legal advice of any kind.
Yeah, that should cover it.
Right?
But do continue listening.
Yes. Continue listening so that you can understand people believe in these things. Very, very hard. Very hard?
Yeah.
Vehemently.
Vehement. Yeah, that works. Vehemently works.
It's insane. Well, I'm going to give a scope for each of the little subjects, actually. So the first one is homeopathy. We're really just starting off. We're going 0 to 60 in 3 minutes.
Just right off the deep end, huh?
Yep. So for anyone who doesn't know, homeopathy is actually a belief that like cures like. So if you have, let's say, a fever, you would take something that causes a fever, and it would cure you of your fever.
Oh, I mean, you're not just taking something that will cause you a fever. You have to dilute it thousands of times.
Yeah, that's the additional point, is that if you were to take, say, I don't know, what causes a fever? Strychnine? Does strychnine cause fevers?
I don't actually know. You kind of chose a bad one.
I did.
If you can't sleep, you have, like, microdoses of caffeine.
Yes, there you go. So
you're too awake, than micro, or less than micro.
Yeah, it's you dilute out something until there's no more of it actually physically left in the material. So
because the water remembers it.
Yeah, but the water still remembers it. So it's still, the essence is still there. So this is actually the thing that made me think about why we should mention why these things are absolutely preposterous. Mm-hmm. And Jeff has pointed this out several times to me, and we loved joking about it when we worked together, which is that I used to live downhill, or like down the street actually, from a cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
And I think little bits of dead people would cure me of death, right? Like microdoses.
Well, it would
death.
Cure you of death. It wouldn't make you immune to it. But if you're already dead,
oh, there you go.
Then you drank that homeopathic rainwater runoff from the cemetery. Then, yeah, you'll spring right back up.
See?
I'm pretty sure that's what happens in Frank Herbert's Reanimator, or whatever that Lovecraft story is called.
It would be very funny to rewrite Frankenstein as like a homeopathy story.
I mean, we can do that. There's nothing stopping us.
It's true. So there's other problems with this. Like, you would think that all wastewater, if you were to drink it, like wastewater coming out of a treatment facility, would cure you of every single disease, probably. Or at least, like,
you would also
diarrhea.
be eating lots of feces. Just every kind of feces.
I mean, you wouldn't be consuming that many feces, but you would if you were to take it from before it reached the treatment facility. Out of a treatment facility, you're really just eating algae and then like a lot of bacteria.
Yeah, but where? Yeah, and what else is in there? Like fish, other living things.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. But you would think that a lot of water would be curing you of various problems. Why? Because it at some point in time touched like something
that causes that problem.
Been diluted. Yeah. So it doesn't really make a whole lot of practical sense.
Or any other kind of sense.
However, we need to come up with a world in which it is true.
Right. Should be easy enough.
So let's start off with like cures like. What is a good... What if we had like a human biologic response? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's like snake poison. Like you have to use snake poison to develop the antidote for snake poison. So
right.
In this case, it is your body has an antidote for every single toxin, and it produces that toxin, and that also explains why you need such dilute quantities of it, because you want the toxin to be there, but you don't want it to affect you.
Mm-hmm.
Did I just explain homeopathy?
Let's go with soft, maybe. I was thinking along the lines of
like jumping into
like you have to take it as a
suppository.
What was it? A suppository or a prophylactic, where consuming little bits of what causes, death or headaches, like builds up your immunity to it.
Builds up your immunity to that response. So maybe this is like treating a symptom and not a, what are those things called? Diseases.
Cure.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, it's treating a symptom and not treating the disease. And like Patch Adams would say, it's really not treating the patient. So we're still losing and we should be winning all the time.
Right.
Yeah. Because Patch Adams, rest in peace.
Best doctor.
I have never seen Patch Adams.
I don't know. I feel like I may have, but I remember nothing of it.
Yeah, I know Robin Williams is in it. That's about it. And I know the quote.
Yep.
That quote. I know that quote. And my mom uses it in her classes because she's teaches people about medicine.
Yep.
So
she must be looking forward to this episode.
But that's what I was thinking. I'm thinking of the same thing as you are. Like it's like building up an immunity to it. It's by taking little doses of it, you're not taking enough that it'll affect you, that it'll harm you.
Mm-hmm.
But you're taking enough that your body is creating a response to it. Now,
right, you're vaccinating yourself against it. Except vaccines are real and they do work.
I was actually gonna be like, Are you reading my Word document right now? Because that's the next one. So we're just going to drop the whole memory of water thing. How do we want to do that? I think...
I mean... It's not so much that the water has a memory. It's that the electrons from whatever... thing you're trying to cure have exchanged with the electrons on the water. Oh. So you are consuming part of it, just real little. That is how the water has a memory.
You know what? That is better than anything I had come up with, so let's go in.
Man, and you had all day to think about it. I've been
really
here for
did.
11 minutes now.
Yeah, I was sitting there in my class, and I could tell my teacher was I was a little distracted because I was like, I think I was like, how does this work?
I really wish you were called out in class. Like, hey, Simon, what are you thinking about? Oh, just, homeopathy.
How homeopathy
Gonna get
real
real deep into it.
So the next thing is vaccines cause autism. Now, remember, listener, vaccines do not cause autism. However, how would a vaccine
A
cause
lot
autism?
of people think that they do.
So
how would vaccines cause autism aside from fabricating
data?
evidence?
So there are, people have come up with scientific, you can't see me, I am putting these in bunny ear quotes.
Right.
Ideas of what it is that would actually cause this. It comes from like methylated mercury, which is actually, to be honest, not a horrible idea, but if you actually look at the concentrations and compare them to how they would actually be correlated to inorganic mercury and things like that, it doesn't really stand up to scrutiny.
Okay.
At all.
I think haven't like a lot of vaccines tried to phase out using it anyway because people are terrified of it?
Thimerosal was actually any vaccine that's been made after like 2000 doesn't have thimerosal in it. I mean, there are people who say like aluminum, because aluminum in vitro has like some toxicity to neural cells, but it's not like you're injecting a. First of all, there's not that much aluminum in vaccines. Also, you're not injecting it directly onto your brain.
Right. And, like, anything is toxic enough if you have enough of it.
It's true. Even love.
Especially love.
It's true.
How do vaccines cause autism?
Yeah, so...
In this fictional world in which it might.
Well, what about this? What if you gave... So the difficult thing, the problem I'm having is
that it's inconsistent.
Is that it not only is it it's inconsistent. Like the disease itself would also cause autism if vaccines caused autism. So there has to be something else that's in vaccines that causes autism.
Well, would the disease itself cause autism?
Well, yeah, because you think about like imagine if you had like a pure vaccine, so a vaccine with no chemicals added to it. I say chemicals. What I mean to say, I'm a chemical engineer and I should not be using that term so loosely.
Yeah.
I mean, a vaccine that has no toxins in it apart from the dead bacterial cells.
Mm-hmm.
That just causes an immune response. And so the only difference between a vaccine and the disease itself in that case is that the vaccine doesn't cause any symptoms, but causes an immune response, and a disease does cause symptoms. So then you would think that I can hear a truck.
There's like a truck doing something apparently that you can just hear through all of my closed windows.
We are having a tough time with audio this past couple of recordings. So you would think that a disease would also give you autism, right?
Actually, maybe that's it. This vaccine world and homeopathy world are the same. And because you're giving a person such a small dose of the disease that, in this world, all disease also causes autism. I mean, it's just like it's overwhelmed by all of the other symptoms, so you don't notice it.
Oh, so you're saying that autism is like a temporary thing. Or maybe, I like this idea. So instead of, it's not a temporary thing. What it is your body uses the autism as like a response. And because you don't get any symptoms, there's no off switch to your autism. So that's what I'm saying. Like when you're cured of the disease, when your body gets rid of the disease, then it switches off the autism. It's like, okay, he doesn't need this response anymore.
Right.
But when you have a
and there like isn't enough of like a biofeedback from a vaccine.
Yeah. Okay. And this is why you're always so grumpy and moody and you don't like light or loud noises when you have the flu, is not because you have the flu, is because you've suddenly become a child with autism.
Yes, exactly.
Of course. Of course. Look at this. You know what? I always fear that we are just being too accurate with this. I need to repeat again.
I mostly fear that this episode's feeling a little problematic.
It does feel very problematic, so I would like to repeat. None of these things are real. Do not use this as evidence. If I see one person send this episode back to me and say, "Hey, isn't this proof that these things are real?" I won't do anything because I don't know who you are and I don't care enough about you. But it will hurt my feelings at least a little bit, so please don't do it. So
I'll be sure to not let you know about all that, the hate mail that we get.
All the hate mail we get. I mean, you don't tell me about any hate mail we've gotten already, so.
That's true. Or all of the spam. There's so much spam.
You have told me about some of the spam. The next thing. We're going. Reflexology.
Okay, which was reflexology? Like you rub your ear and your foot pain goes away?
Yeah, actually, pretty much. It's but
okay.
So let's not get this confused with auriculation, which is a similar but it's a subset of reflexology. Reflexology essentially says that all like the discrete parts of your body, like your hands, your feet, your leg, your ear, your nose, I assume, are connected together in some way.
Well,
so like there's a part of your foot.
I mean, they are.
Well, I mean, apart from being like...
They are all connected with your skin.
Wait a second. Wait. Go on. Do you not have like a discrete section of your body? Are you not Rayman? Do you not have like discrete feet that are not connected to your body?
No. Last I checked, I was not modular like that.
Oh my gosh. I didn't realize I was so weird. I guess...
yeah. Well, I mean, I think most people are like that. It's just like the socks really cover it up and hide it well.
Oh. I mean, they do. I mean, this is why I wear big wool socks. Not because I'm cold all the time, but because I am modular. So reflexology says that like a piece of your foot or a piece of your hand, it connects to like your colon, while a different part of your colon connects to your foot or your hand. So it's like let's say a series of tubes, not like dump trucks. They're not like dump trucks. They're tubes. They're a series of tubes that connect the parts of your body together.
Okay.
And these tubes can get clogged. Remember, these are not dump trucks. They can get clogged.
Like, I'm trying to figure out where that factors in. I'm waiting for the Shaggy dog story to come to its conclusion.
So they're tubes that can get clogged, and you need to clear the clogs for like the energy to flow through your body. And this is how you cure yourself of like foot pain or like diarrhea or the time your mom didn't love you enough, or the fact that your parents at one time picked you up and then put you down and then never picked you up again.
Is that a memory that you have?
No. But it's in there, and it's affecting, maybe the reason I have rheumatoid
that's the thing that's clogging up the pipes. Yeah, I see now.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought those were like other ailments. I'm like, okay, I guess it also does mental trauma.
It does. Those are ailments. Like your feeling of loneliness is an ailment, and I guess the clogging of the pipe is the fact that your parents never picked you up again.
Right. Okay, I see.
What if reflexology is just a really sensitive... If you had a really sensitive vascular network. So, like, if you're, like, fixating on something like, my God, I'm lonely... That's like too much blood is in that part of your brain. Like there's too much activity and there's too much nutrients being eaten by that part of your brain. And so what you have to do is like...
balance your humors?
No. But you have to like
Okay.
push into a different part of the pipe, like of your vascular network, to like increase the blood to that. Like the way I'm seeing it as is you have like a blockage that takes too much of your nutrients, too much of your body's energy. And so what you have to do is when you squeeze like a toe or something, you're blocking that part of your body off temporarily from the rest of your body because it's like a tourniquet.
Okay.
When you do
and
that,
then how does that help?
when you do that, you enable your body to like use that blood that would be going to your toe and push it through, so like increases the pressure all across your body, and it pushes through that blockage.
Okay. If that's the idea that we're going to go with, why are things like specifically connected? Like, if turning off one pipe increases the pressure everywhere else.
Because, so here we go. When you're a baby, okay, you have a single vein. You're like and that vein turns into your heart. But before it turns into your heart, it gets divided and spread across the body, which creates your vascular network. Now, the different portions of that cylinder that were once are still related. So, like, if you take a cross-sectional piece of that cylinder that you are when you're a baby, as everyone knows, and as it multiplies out, part of it becomes like a foot, part of it becomes a hand, part of it becomes your colon. And so those parts are all connected together because they come from the same original cylinder. Tube vein thing.
Okay. So, is it all still... everything is interconnected? Just some are more directly connected than others?
Yeah, that's how I'm...
Is that what you're getting at? Okay.
I mean, because obviously everything's connected, dude. My foot... I mean, I knew I was making jokes about being Rayman, but...
Yeah, oh, wow, I just destroyed my mic.
Okay,
Sorry
good.
about that, everybody. I directly into the mic like a fool.
There's a laugh that you did during the Doctor Who episode that, like, shattered the mic, and I had to start... I actually had to, like, do real sound editing on it.
Actual editing versus just lining them up.
I do other things. I clear out some of the ums and the blank spaces. Which there's a lot of, by the way, listener. We spend a lot of time thinking during this podcast.
You're only getting the best of the best.
That's not
because it is hard to think and joke at the same time.
Yes.
Alright, so where were we? Okay, so things are interconnected, things are more directly connected than others, and...
because babies are essentially hollow tubes filled with blood.
Well, aren't we all?
That's a pretty good... I mean, yeah. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I can get behind... well, it's the, like, backed up pressure... that I don't like. I guess
So
with them being more related or more like directly connected, that would have a more direct influence.
Maybe it's like this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's like your body's quality control network.
Okay.
Is that all of the other parts of your body have to be monitoring all the other parts of the body. So it's kind of like a checks and balances system. And when you have like a problem with your colon, you have to like stimulate the QC network that's in your foot for your colon.
Okay.
Or your liver or your kidney or your stomach.
And then it just pushes all of the tube clearing Drano, I guess, towards the colon.
Yeah, or at least it like maybe the QC network is really crappy and they're like, well, we don't know who. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe you have to just designate a QC network to deal with it. So you're like, there's like a QC network in your foot and your hand, and your hand network is like, well, the foot will take care of it, and your foot's like, well, the hand will take care of it, and like the ear's like, well, I don't know who's going to take care of it. So what you have to do is designate a specific part of your body to clear out your colon.
Okay, and it just is convention
to do a certain type. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And that also is auriculation. Like when you're doing it on your ear, it's just your ear that's doing because auriculation for some reason had its own specific Wikipedia page.
Good. I'm glad.
Oh boy, there's so many Wikipedia articles on pseudoscience, specifically medicine.
I'm glad that is in your browsing history and not mine.
It's not. I used a school computer to research it. So.
Good.
So, are we cool with that? I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, it feels like we're not quite there, and we'll have to think on it a bit more. But I feel like that's the best we're gonna get.
What's the problem
right
you
now.
have with it? Is it the fact that when you're walking...
Well, it's that it's dumb, mostly. But...
Dude! Last week we were talking about playing Doom on a smart fridge. How is this... Okay, so, no, that was a bad example. That's amazing.
Yeah, no, you called out, like, the coolest thing we talked about last week.
We posed the idea that the chupacabra needs to breathe by drinking other people's blood. How is this less stupid than that?
Because I was like 1.5 bottles of sake deep in that episode.
That's true. And I'm 2 tall boys in this episode. On an empty stomach. It's a good time.
Perfect.
Which is why my volume is suddenly increased.
Just modulating wildly. Yeah, I guess like the canon actual explanation is that it's clearing blockages, right?
Yeah, or it's moving energy around the body.
Okay. Maybe like quantum entanglement, like your foot is just connected to your colon or whatever.
Because during your the first atoms that create you, okay? So we're thinking like sperm and egg.
Mm-hmm.
And we're saying like maybe there's a couple billion atoms inside of a sperm and an egg.
Right.
The atoms that will become the other parts of your body are quantumly entangled. So like one atom becomes your like hand, while a quantumly entangled atom from the same that was quantumly entangled at the very beginning before you had designated body parts becomes a foot. And so then you can... I like that better. That's a better explanation.
Okay.
I kind of wish you had come up with that 10 minutes ago so I didn't sound like an idiot.
Yeah, I did. I was just trying to see where yours concluded, and then I was going to throw mine in there.
And be like, oh, hey, this is like an actual explanation.
Yeah, well, like, I wanted to give you a chance.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
I like that. That makes sense. I like that a lot. There's some weird stuff. I'm just reading through my notes.
You don't say.
Full of weird stuff. I would like to say. So there's a few things I would like to say about reflexology before we move on.
Okay.
Number uno.
That's one for our English-speaking listeners.
Okay. The problem with reflexology is that when you're walking, wouldn't you like clean out your liver or like vacate your bowels or like increase your salivation or start masticating or things like that?
I mean, you don't do that? That's usually what happens when I walk around.
But that's what I mean. Like, isn't that a problem with reflexology? Like with homeopathy.
You think? Like, is there like and like some amount of intent that you need to actually like practice reflexology? Maybe.
So my My thing says it's not. No. I
All right, well, just shut me down. Cool.
I know I might be wrong about this, but it really just says that. Okay, so I see what it is. I see. You're right. It's not so much intent. You have to use specific thumb, finger, and hand techniques without the use of oil or lotion.
Okay.
That's the problem. You're not using
So it's
the right
because
techniques.
you keep yourself so, like, oiled
No.
over the course of the day that it doesn't normally take effect.
No, I was going to say it's the lack of the hand or thumb techniques.
Oh, that makes sense too.
Yeah.
I like the idea that this fictional world is just everyone is, like, glistening. They're so heavily oiled.
They're just shining. Everyone
Yes.
is shiny. Everyone is a character from Monster Factory. Boy, this is a very...
Oh, that's terrifying.
I realize that this is a very McElroy-heavy episode, seeing as though...
Yeah, I thought about that too. We'll just send the Sawbones Twitter a link to this episode.
We should do that. I sent Justin McElroy a thing about our serial episode. All he did was like it, and it made me happy to know that he knows that I exist. But it didn't make me happy that he clearly didn't listen to it.
Right.
Because he wasn't laughing his patootie off.
There you go.
There you go, yeah. Simon has to learn how to clean up his language. Okay.
I'm surprised that I'm as restrained while recording.
You only start swearing when I start swearing.
I'm not surprised.
I have to remove so little of your audio because of profanity. A lot of my audio has to be removed because of profanity. The next one is crystal healing.
Are we going to keep that as an interstitial from now on?
Yeah, I'm just going to cut out that whole section that we had about us swearing and stuff. I might keep in this part just to explain why that was such an awkward thing, because I don't remember where we left off 3 minutes ago.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is crystal healing is the use of semi-precious stones and crystals such as quartz, amethyst, or opals. Adherents of the technique claim that these healing powers, although there is no scientific basis for this claim. I think I read that correctly.
It seemed to make enough sense.
Good. Essentially, these are people who believe that your individualized connection to stone can create healing effects. So,
okay,
stone color, shape, and I think that's it. Color, shape, yeah.
Like type?
Yeah, type. But like type is kind of part of color, I would say. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't include that. So maybe color, shape, and type affect how it's going to connect with you and how it's going to heal you.
Okay, so do you have to attune to the frequency that the crystal or stone vibrates at?
Jeff, I would like you to keep your... I cannot swear. What is a non-profanity word for your bull honky frequency talk out of this discussion? That is pseudoscience, okay? We're talking about crystals.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know we were not to the pseudoscience section yet.
No, this is real. Sorry, listener, I would like to repeat, this is not real. However, Jeff, I
have to assume it's real.
Yes. This is called improv.
Okay, so...
This is called acting. I am acting like crystal healing is real. So what were we going to say?
I don't know. I've lost the thread.
It's so tough.
But yeah, so we are excluding Like energies or whatever. Now I'm paying attention to how often I say like.
Say
thanks for that curse.
Say like as many times as you want. I really do not care about editing these episodes. It doesn't actually add that much time. I still have to listen to the whole episode.
That's a shame. I don't.
Again, Jeff, you write the descriptions. You should be listening to the whole episode.
Yeah, no, I definitely do. All the time.
I need you to listen to the episodes because if you don't, then I forget to add things like the theme song.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've done that a few times.
You did. I think you did that in the episode we just released.
I thought I included it.
I think you had it as the outro, but not the intro.
I will see if I can remedy that. Okay, anyway. Crystal healing.
Right. Crystals resonate at their own particular frequencies.
Yeah, okay.
And humans have to attune to it.
Okay.
By vibrating with them.
Okay. I have a better solution.
Okay, because you can't do much worse.
No, I can do better. So the homeopathy thing, that was such a good... I'm sorry, man. You really hit it out of the ballpark with that quantum like the electrons. In water.
Oh, yeah.
So part of the thing with crystals is that they tend to have very loose or interconnected electron bonds.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe
you just rub them good electrons off on you?
Yeah, essentially when you touch them, the electrons in you and the electrons in the substance become swapped a little bit, like they interact a little bit, and that's what's giving you your little thing. Now, why is it individualized? Or is that
how do you mean by individualized?
So there's a weird little part of it where... So here's the way... I'm going to just read this. In contrast with other forms of complementary and alternative medicine, participants in crystal healing view the practice as individuated, i.e., dependent on extreme personalization and creative expression.
So, does that mean different crystals behave differently for different people?
So the way the way I'm choosing to read, I'm not a practitioner of this, so I cannot definitively answer this question. I can, however, say that it looks like not all, let's say, amethysts stop your toothache. It's only the specific amethysts that you relate to and that you identify with and that you've like an individualized connection with that will affect you. But all amethysts are used for the same thing.
Okay. So
I can't believe
there would have to be something that differentiates them, that make it so you connect to some more than others. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe the crystals are sapient lithoid creatures, and they just like you more, and they help you.
Okay, I wasn't gonna go there. I like it. I was gonna say maybe it has to do with like DNA compatibility.
Okay, I don't know rocks to have much DNA.
But if we're saying that it's the exchange of electrons with you and the crystal, maybe those are the rocks that were exchanging electrons with your ancestors.
Okay,
and
so they know you better and are more familiar with your electrons.
Yeah, or the configuration of the electrons within your body.
Okay. We're getting there.
Or they're sentient, lithoid creatures. That works too, man. I don't want to yuck your yum. If you're into...
No, mine's just because there's a new DLC in Stellaris.
Oh, that's totally fair.
Yeah, that's the only reason I thought of that.
man, I really want to play Fallout right now for some reason. Anyway.
I was going to say, you can in a few minutes, probably.
I hopefully can. Hopefully this will be over in 15 minutes, so I don't have to do an hour of editing. Okay. I like this. So I like that idea. I like the idea that they remember your ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
There's people.
Yeah, I like that too.
Upstairs. Yeah, and then you get like it's almost like a DNA memory kind of thing too. So maybe your DNA also remembers that particular
crystal rock.
Yeah, Reiki.
Reiki is the not touching a person and exchanging their good and bad energies.
Yeah, pretty much, actually. Reiki is palm healing. You exchange your vitalism, which is like this kind of this component that all living creatures have that non-living creatures don't have. Non-living things don't have. And it's done. You don't touch them directly. You just wave your hands over them. But you have to be a Reiki master. You have to have control of your own energy to control the energy of others.
I mean, this is just electric fields, right?
Yeah, I like it. I like it because if you're a Reiki master, you can control the dipole moments. Electrons are really useful in this whole episode. You can cause dipole moments within your own hands, within your own body, and that can cause dipole moments inside of the body of your
recipient.
Yeah, there you go.
Patient. I don't want to say patient. Let's go with recipient.
Yeah, I think it's recipient sounds better.
Subject.
That sounds Frankenstein-y, but
yes.
That's what I like. That I like that. It's like so you can alter the like intermolecular bonds and the electrical fields within another person by altering the fields, by creating the field yourself using your own electrons.
Right.
And in this world, you have absolute control of your electrons.
Well, the Reiki master would have absolute control of their electrons.
Yeah.
The average person doesn't, which is why they have to seek out
a Reiki master. And pay them quite a bit of money. And maybe that's why, because I do believe the ritual to become a Reiki master, not only do you have to like train how to do a lot of the stuff, but like there's like a hand touching ceremony where you like transfer the power. And maybe,
okay, yeah, and you just exchange.
Yeah, like it's like creating a magnet where you like put a very strong electric field through it so that you carry a permanent dipole moment in that thing. Okay.
Right.
That makes sense. I like it. Oops, I just hit my mic. Just punched it with my fist as I was reaching for my thing bobber there. You want
good old thingy-mo-bobber. Yeah, so what's next?
Mouse.
Do we got it?
Well, there's two more. Do you want to do one more?
Yeah, if you have another quick one like Reiki was.
Yeah, we'll see.
One way to find out. What's next?
Ear candling. So.
All right. Ear candling being you put a lit candle that it's like a hollowed out tube candle in a person's ear, and it sucks out all of the wax and gunk from it.
Yeah, and it's supposed to like cleanse your body.
Oh, I didn't. Of toxins. Right?
So here's the thing. This is like, normally, okay, fine. If you were to somehow create negative pressure, you could technically suck the wax out of your ear.
Yes, I feel like it... Okay, no, wait. But in this world, it's real. Yes, continue.
But yeah, remember, listener, this is not real. This is, I know we sound like we're very, very smart and scientific right now.
That's because we're good actors.
This is because we're very good actors. For this entire time, I've actually been Brad Pitt playing Simon, playing a podcaster on this podcast. Actually, I take that back. Simon, in the future, change this. I'm Simon. I am actually Brad Pitt, and I have played Brad Pitt for several years now. Anyway.
Okay, if that's the case, I am Keanu Reeves and just eternal. Thank you.
That's totally fair. We should create a D&D podcast.
There aren't enough of those on the internet.
Are you sure, though?
I mean, it can always take another one.
That's the great thing about the internet. It expands to fill the things I want it to.
Just mash more and more D&D into it,
Yep.
whether or not it's happy about
Yep. It doesn't matter that I was made fun of for playing D&D as a kid.
Now you have your own podcast about it and can feel good.
Yep. Now it's accepted by all of these attractive, cool people. Anyway, I'm not bitter. Anyway...
Not at all. So, what were we doing? Ear candling.
Ear candling. The problem is that it can purify the blood.
Okay.
And it can cure cancer.
Right.
You know how cancer it has like those really terrible ear effects, like where like your ear has cancer and no matter what cancer you have, bone cancer, colon cancer, ovarian cancer.
All just goes through the ear.
Yeah, eye cancer, skin cancer, all goes through the ear.
Now, is it that ear candling can cure all cancers in this fictional world because this isn't a thing?
I did not read that much into ear candling. I'm going to say yes. Cures all cancer.
Okay.
I gotta stop
that
mic.
Tracks with the rest of their claims. So I'm thinking we'll stick with the negative pressure for the physical gunk that it pulls out.
Well, okay, so I would like to say this first of all. Unless you're just trying to speed this up, but a flame doesn't create. First of all, really that much.
No, it doesn't work well enough.
Yeah.
No, but we'll say in this world that it does. So, unless we want to explore that further,
I will.
Feel free to explore it further.
I think I have an idea.
Okay.
What if what you're burning is not like I mean, in this world it's a paraffin wax, and I'm ignoring chemistry for a second. What if
I feel like we've done that this whole episode.
Yeah, really we have. What if what we do is it burns it in such a way that it creates something like ozone, or it creates like ozonides or peroxides or something like that, where it shrinks the volume of the gas, the oxygen gas or the nitrogen gas around it. And that creates the vacuum. So what's coming off of it is not CO2, because obviously that would expand and create a positive pressure, but it's something that has a less, a higher molecular weight, but would take up less volume. So it creates that negative pressure. That's what I'm going to say for ear candling, the negative pressure thing.
Okay.
For once, I'll actually be smart and come up with a solution that works.
I mean, like, kind of works.
It does. If you
could work in this world.
If you were to create ozone from O2, which is like directly from O2, you would decrease volume, which would create a negative pressure, which would suck something up. If you did it energetically enough, you would overcome.
Or, I mean, you would need valves and stuff to make sure that just more air doesn't come in from the outside.
No, what you would do is you would have to create something that's energetic enough that it would rip it out of your ear, while also consuming all the oxygen around your ear. But it also would, yeah. Yeah, you would need just something that was just energetic enough. Obviously, that would be insane. That would like give you radiation burns on the side of your face.
Yeah, that'd probably be fine.
Okay, how does it purify the blood and cure cancer?
Purifying the blood. Continue. You have a thought.
I was gonna say, so what causes your body to become unstable when you drink is the diffusion of alcohol from your blood into your ear canal, and then alcohol is less viscous and it messes with the fluid in your ear.
Mm-hmm.
So what if by creating that negative pressure, it starts pulling out gases and things like that through your eardrum, and then your blood has to replace it, and your blood replacing it in your eardrum, because of obviously dispersion and Fick's second law, it is drawing out. So it's like an intermediate. Your ear is an intermediate between your blood and the air. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, and the candling could just be done anywhere. It's just done in the ear because of the shape of it. It makes it easy to place the candle there.
Yes. It's got you. Yeah, if God didn't want you to burn a candle in your ear, he wouldn't have given you such a nice candle holder.
Exactly. Yeah, that's more or less a more eloquent way of saying what I was going to say, so I can agree with that.
Now cure cancer.
It's all psychosomatic anyway.
You're saying cancer doesn't exist. Cancer doesn't exist in the world that we've created. Yes.
You just think that you have it, so you do.
You've done it, Jeff. You have explained...
I've cured cancer.
You've cured cancer in this world. In this world.
In this world.
That we have
It
created.
is still a very real, very devastating disease.
I really want to create an RPG that is just all of the science that we've mashed together to create all of our episodes. And you have to operate inside of that world.
Oh, God. I pity the players of that game. I pity the person running that game who has to, research all of these episodes and really piece together the ins and outs of these worlds.
That's true. I can tell you right now, flatulence is going to be a big part of that game.
Oh, yeah, definitely it is.
Cool. Well, I think we're done. We should...
we should end on a high note.
We should end on a high note. We did a good job. That was exhausting.
Right.
And thank you for listening. It was good. I liked it. Yeah, it's fine.
Man, that went real downhill real fast. It was good. It's alright. We did it. Classic Pedantic Handwavium.
Classic. We really just get more and more exhausted as we go through the episode. And we just are just like, yeah, you know what? That's good enough. Let's just move on.
We got it. Moving on. We'll cover that in the next episode when we do this topic again.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, thanks for listening. You can visit us at handwavium.com or pedantichw.com.
Feel free to leave feedback and suggestions through either of that one same website.
There's an email on our website that you can send us. We've done, actually, both Doctor Who and Power Rangers were both suggested to us. So was Animorphs was suggested to us, and what was the other one?
Yeah, there was another one.
My Little Pony. That was the one that was suggested to us.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, actually, our suggested episodes tend to be our best episodes. They're pretty good.
So, give us better show ideas than we can come up with.
Yeah, because we only know... me and Jeff are not that well-versed in pop culture. It's real bad.
Yeah, it's really upsetting.
I don't think it's that upsetting. I do other things.
Well, we don't have as much material for the show. That's why it's upsetting.
That is true.
And we have to do so much research into just
any
one thing in order to be able to begin talking about it.
I get such weird Google results now. It's absolutely insane. So give us social suggestions, subscribe to us, like us on iTunes. For some reason,
comment on iTunes.
Yeah, for some reason we're not on Podbean, which might be a thing that we should look into.
I'll see if I can't find
why we're not,
how to make that work.
Yeah,
I don't know how it's running.
Yeah, me neither. What was it? Oh, we're on Twitter. At Pedantic Handwavium. Is that what we are?
I don't remember.
Maybe we're at Pedantic HW. Wait a second. Jeff, finish up.
If you go to the website, you can find us on Twitter through the pedantichandwavium.com.
Yeah.
Or I can just clack real hard on my keyboard.
And
P Handwavium.
No, that's what we are.
At P Handwavium is our Twitter handle.
At P Handwavium is our Twitter handle. I do the Twitter stuff. I'm bad at it. I need help.
Please retweet all of our things.
Yeah. I do like. So I will say this. P Playthrough, which is a podcast about the Power Rangers, they did like us back. So they're awesome. Go listen to them if you're listening to us and you're not listening to them. They're great. That guy actually got back to us quite a few times. I love him. I have no idea who he is. He's fantastic, though.
But he's probably a pretty cool dude.
He is a podcast about Power Rangers, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Is there any? Oh, and thanks Joe Sopchak for our theme music. He still hasn't given me anything to give the rest of the world.
Really? He should do that.
He should do that.
Because we can just include that.
Yeah, stick that right in there. Free advertisement, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, aside from all that work he did for exposure.
He did. That's true. Actually, he did do a decent amount of work for us.
All right. Is that it?
I think is that everything
that's
we
it.
do? I'm going to have to edit this up. I hate it. I'm going to hate myself so much. We're also on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. We're on YouTube, too.
We are on
Did we? I think we mentioned that during the episode also.
That we're on YouTube?
Did we?
Why would we?
Maybe I just remember it from when I was listening to the episode last night.
Oh, yes. We did mention in the episode last night because I put in all the episodes onto YouTube because I was slacking. I was just not doing it. I was just being lazy. Because it takes longer
Can't blame
to
you.
do that than anything else. Thank you for listening.
All right, so I think that's it. Thanks for coming, everybody, and listening to the show.
Hey, Jeff, do you want to give that English accent another try?
No, I don't.
How about
I actually ended the episode before I got to that point.
Oh, did you? Oh, you should listen
to
it. It's so good.
I know how it goes. Click.
I will. How about we end it like this? And don't drill a hole in your head.
I feel like that one's taken.
Yeah, but that's what's funny about it because we're like doing some. What's the Oh No Ross and Jerry?
I don't know. I haven't listened to it in a while.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, maybe we should not steal other podcasts' outros.
I but it's fine. You're the one editing it. You do you.
Yeah, we should come up with a good one. I'm not a